Poopsies. Hi, it's me, Tony Bomboni ASMR, and welcome back to another video. I'm glad to be back in my house. You're going to notice these videos are very scattered, so I'm going to say something that maybe I probably already said, or like I'm going to update you on something, and then like in another video I'm going to say, oh, I don't know if this thing happened yet, maybe, because of the way my upload schedule is. It's just all scatterbrained right now, and I'm not really uploading this in the timeline of the chronological order that I usually do, I guess, of like my normal routine. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm just in and out of my house. You probably hear the dishwasher in the background. I think it's a bit relaxing. It's a bit soothing background noise. Excuse my scraggliness. I forgot my tweezers, and I forgot just my brain, I guess. So yeah, I'm looking a little bent and like those trees outside after the hurricane. Before this begins, if you guys could just subscribe and tap that bell and hit all notifications, you are going strong. Like, thank you so much for all your subscribers, for all your support. I am going through a lot now with this hurricane. It's getting to be quite costly, and it did have some damage to my home. I just briefly want to mention, if anyone wanted to show their support, I do have a PayPal and a Cash App on my homepage on my website, TonyBomboni.com. But sometimes I feel bad accepting donations. I don't know why, because it's like a freebie, I know people still do out of the kindness and love in their heart, and thank you for those people, but I think hands down the best way for you to get something in return, instead of just giving out your money like that, is to book a service on my website, TonyBomboni.com. I do things like tarot reading. Okay, that's my number one book service to this day, hands down, tarot reading. I made the most sales doing that of anything. Like, yeah, any sponsor I've ever done, any product I've ever promoted that was mine, tarot reading has sold number one still to this day. And thank you to everyone who also has been continuously actively listening to my ASMR albums. Okay, I've almost had another record month. Thank you so much for that. Okay, but yes, hands down, best way, TonyBomboni.com. You go on the book online tab, use those coupon codes at your benefit. Okay, all right, poopsies. So I can't wait to see you there and help you out and do your services. I'm all caught up as of 2 days ago now, as of filming this video. So I've caught up with everyone's service since the hurricane. And thank you, Jesus, my roof got tarped. And no more boil water advisory in my county. So water safe, roof is tarped. Roof is tarped. I'm sorry. Roof is tarped. It's been a long couple weeks, honey. It's been a long couple weeks. But I'm back. The only thing that's not back is my internet, okay? So I gotta go to my mama's house back and forth. I've been doing that anyway, so I'm pretty used to it. So my energy's coming back now. I feel more alive. All is well. Like, it just feels so good to look around. I'm like, yeah, my furniture's okay. Everything's okay. Nothing flooded. Nothing too bad happened. The surge didn't happen. It barely missed us. And I just feel so grateful, to still be here in my own house with electric running through the walls, and it just feels good, healthy, clean water, and to wash yourself, to drink, you know what I'm saying? And I still got to do a lot of cleanup outside. I'm looking at those shingles knocked over and some twigs and stuff, and oh my god, my fence for my garden, ripped out and bent over, like, yeah. And I'm glad I put those hurricane shutters with my brother. Thank you, God, for my brother, because he helped a lot with that, with the drill. There was a couple bends in those too, so could you imagine if I didn't have those? I'd probably have broken windows and water coming in. So thank God for that. I did notice a couple cracks, like in my siding, and then like a little by my attic ceiling in the garage, but I think that was already there before, so I'm kind of skeptical. It doesn't smell bad, so I don't know, but I'm still gonna obviously get that repaired to make sure. And some lantern got knocked out, a couple lanterns actually. They were nice and pretty. I feel a bit sad about that, but nothing Home Depot can't fix, you know what I'm saying, or Lowe's or Aaron's. Welcome to Lowe's. Alright, so that's thanks also to your prayers. I think your prayers worked. I prayed so hard. I cried and prayed so hard before I left this house that day. It was scary because I actually couldn't fit all I could fit in my car, so I had to take everything, go, and come back for my bird while the storm's tail was already here. So yeah, that was terrifying. So I'm glad we made it out now, and I'm seeing the animals are back. I'm like, wow, the animals survived. Anyway, so moving right along, I want to start this video talking about hurricane preparation, and that's why I'm talking so much about this hurricane lately, because I guess some people say it was a once in a 500-year event. Someone was like, oh, you should not live there. We haven't had a storm like this in probably 10 generations, okay? So, and I already knew that was coming because it's obviously the Earth's going through its changes, its cycles and stuff. Not many people really talk about it, but anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how you can prepare for a hurricane disaster, because you think you're safe if you're in North Carolina. Last time I checked, Ian went all the way up to Jersey, didn't he? Okay, and Virginia, and yeah. So just because it doesn't hit you as a Category 4 or 5 strength like it did here, don't mean it's not going to hit you as the after effects of a tropical depression, storm, scattered rainfall. Yeah, those things take a long time, especially nowadays. Before, it might have went up to Georgia, Tennessee max, maybe Kentucky, if you had bad luck. But now they be going up all the way. These storms don't care no more. They go up to Alberta. Oh my God, Lord Jesus, Alberta. Have you ever had even a rainfall, a drop of rain? I'm talking Newfoundland and Labrador. These storms have no mercy. Okay. They go up, okay? They go up. But what goes up must come down. So these storms, unfortunately, take a long time nowadays. And nothing's like it used to be. So the old rules and principles you used to have about storms and whatever weather, what have you nots, no longer apply. They did a whole 360, okay? They did a whole 360. Those storms, all right? I don't know, I felt like crinkling or something. So, yeah, I gotta say, I was as prepared as I possibly could be, and looking back and everything that's happened and everything that ended up okay, I did prepare the right way, almost 100%. Okay, so again, I have to share my story to kind of vibe with what you need. So the first thing you need is to stay calm, okay? So stay calm. You hear that the storm is coming, and people think, oh, by the time that storm hits me in Jersey, it's going to be like a Category 1 or a tropical storm or whatever. You know how much flooding Jersey got in Virginia and the Carolinas? Yeah, exactly. So you never know when it can hit you. I did not expect almost a Category 5, 155 mile an hour winds to be 20 miles from my house. Okay? And it happened. So there you go. And I'm at probably the worst place in the world to live for that. I'm in the lowest elevation you could possibly think of in this whole country right now. Yeah. This area is the lowest you can think of. It's 3 to 7 feet max. Yeah, so 10 feet if you're lucky. So, you have to prepare. You have to stay calm. My number one lesson I've learned in life so far as a 28-year-old is peace. You have to choose peace, and you have to actively choose it, meaning you have to, no matter what situation you are going through. At that point, I was thinking my whole home could be destroyed. Okay? I was thinking, if that happens, and I come back and I return and I see that happen, would I be at peace? Would I choose to be at peace? Yes, I would choose peace no matter what. And part of that peace connection is my connection with God. I think He's helped give me a lot of strength to get through these difficult times, and that's what I choose. Like, I don't care if everything was gone and I lost everything tomorrow. I would still choose Him. I would still choose the peace that He has provided, has helped provide me. And that's that. Like, that's my way of remaining calm. Your way is going to be different. Your way is going to be just like, maybe a different approach to it, right? Like, you could just tell yourself, I'm just going to choose peace, but you have to choose it. It's a choice. Everything in life is a choice. I could have freaked out and panicked, and I chose not to panic this time, I panicked when it was a Category 2 coming my way in 2017, 5 years ago. But for a 4 or 5, almost a 5, it was like 2 miles an hour away from a 5. It was basically a 5. Driving around, seeing the chaos and devastation in the homes, it was a 5, okay? Especially if you count the wind gusts, they said it was like 190 plus. It was a 5. So, they just count like the wind speeds as a 155, but if you count the wind gusts, it goes up to like almost 200. So there you go. Anyway, so moving on. I chose to remain calm, and I chose to say, you know what? No matter what happens, I'm here. Most likely going to be alive and well. Okay? Yes, I'm alive and well, right? Like, you have to be in the present moment. And in that present moment, before I left this house that day on the 27th/28th, when that storm hit, I cried, but I said, you know what? Nothing's wrong right now. I am here in the present moment. Nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with this house. Nothing's wrong with my brother, right? Like, we're fine. We're alive. We're breathing. We're well. We're okay, right? And I didn't let that trauma of 2017 come back to me and invite itself back, And I think that's why I handled it so well, even while I was like watching the storm go by as it what felt like it rip us to shreds, you know what I'm saying? I was on the couch. I was like this. Just doing my deep breaths, remaining calm while the winds were just shearing and ripping through us. And I'm just remaining calm, just breathing, just remaining calm, choosing peace. And I think that protected me. Like, I think that was that protective shield and bubble. So people don't realize how scary these storms are. And I don't care what age you are. It's enough to make you, like, want to wet your pants, okay? Like, yeah, it's bad, okay? And they said this was the 5th worst storm in American history. So, these areas are not used to that kind of damage either. So, yeah, it made it even more scary. And the unknown is the most scariest part of all. The mystery and the unknown, the uncertainty, like I had with the roof and stuff like that. And now looking back, I'm like, oh my God, that was such a minor thing or damage. Like, it's like almost irrelevant at this point, because I'm just glad everything's okay, ultimately overall. But that's how you can prepare. Staying calm mentally, poopsie, okay? And that's number 1 preparation for a hurricane. Number 2, have a bug out bag ready. What's a bug out bag? You're like, Tony, is that an insectoid type of creature from another Martian planet? What? What's it? What's a bug out bag? No, a bug out bag is a bag, or like a backpack, okay? Sort of like this. Okay, not really like this, obviously. This is just like what, for holding video games, but I just found this here. My brother's bag. He has a real bug out bag where like you fold it, kind of like a camper's bag. You fold it and then you lock it in, the clasp. You get your bag. Okay, this is maybe a bit too small. Don't get something that small. That looks like the size of a first aid kit. I wouldn't get something that tiny, unless you live in a tiny Barbie doll house. That's fine. But I would get you something that could fit all your toiletries, especially you women out there. I know have a tendency to have like 20 billion products, and that's fine. Feminine hygiene is important, and you need all of those essentials with you. So make sure you prepare for the need of those essentials. So have a spacious enough bag, but not like, I'm not talking like a camper hiking trail bag. I wouldn't go that far, because honey, where are you going to fit that? If you need to bug out in someone's bug out car, how are you going to fit that bug out bag in the bug out car? I'm sorry, preppers talk like this all the time. Excuse me. How are you going to fit that big booty behind backpack in someone's tiny behind car? Especially when their car is already packed to the brim. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. I had to go check on her. I think because she hears the dishwasher, she doesn't like sounds when it's like she's covered and she wants dead silence. Strange. Okay, so moving on. You need first aid. You need hygiene products, okay? Because you're not going to have running water. Like, that's the number one thing that surprised me as a hurricane was the water. The water got shut off like maybe a couple hours in the intensity of the storm. First, the power went out naturally. And we had like mini electric generators. I mean, I have them all over this house, but they don't last that long. Like, they really don't. Like, good luck with that. So it's kind of a waste of money, but well, it wasn't my choice, but anyway. Make sure you have like an actual generator, but I'll get into that. The power went out, then the water gets lower flow, and then it stops completely. And I think they shut it off on purpose for hygiene purposes, and that's why I had a boil water notice for a whole week and a half here in this county. They want to make sure that it's safe and it flows to us without like parasites in it. So I understand, I'm not mad at them for that. I have been noticing a lot of boil water notices in like many parts of Florida, especially the country. I'm a little like, why is that happening? But, that's, we can all have our own skeptics and doubts and opinions, right? So, but I digress. Make sure that you're aware of this and that you're not going to have running, flowing water. So you need hygiene products in your bug out bag. So I emphasize you get those like hand cloths. That's one thing I definitely got with me. Hand cleansing wipes that you can often frequently find in a first aid kit, a very good one. That's like $20 maybe. You might find those. Sometimes in cheaper, it just depends what country you live, what state, what area, what store. And you get some for sanitary purposes. Those gentle wipes that you can wipe your hands with also works under your pits, under your armpits, maybe, down there. Like if you need to like clean up a little, like what they call like a bird bath. Like a lot of people who are without a home or live out of their car, their RV or the van and stuff like that. They do what's called like, especially if it's an RV that doesn't really have a shower or a working, functioning one. You kind of just like have to use those cloths, and then you use deodorant, right? Antiperspirant sprays, dry shampoo. You make sure you think of everything through. Like it could be the most minor. I keep mixing. I'm sorry, that was my dog. I keep mixing words lately. You notice that? Minor, smallest, minor thing, like tweezers, right? Like. You don't think about these things. Maybe you need that beard trimmer because you ain't gonna want to be walking around looking all scraggly and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your face wash, moisturizer. That's something I wish I got because I left it behind thinking, still thinking this will only be 3 days max without water, power, and net. I was poorly mistaken. I didn't realize how bad it was. And I think part of me wanted to stay and experience this storm so I can get a vibe check and be like, okay, since the climate's changing, I guess, next time this happens, because it is probably going to happen, okay, I know what to expect and how long it's going to take so I can prepare, maybe set aside some funds to get like a hotel or an Airbnb, right? You want to prepare always. Again, this is like a web, like a branch of many different things you got to think about. And I just attached so many things just to the bug out bag alone. You know what I'm saying? So take notes. So you got to remember to have all that with you, okay? Someone in my family stepped on a bunch of fire ants on accident. I had Benadryl, I had Neosporin, I had alcohol wipes, I had bandages. Took care of the problem immediately. We had aloe vera gel for cooling, soothing, right? Benadryl is for itch relief, I believe, and Neosporin is for pain relief, I believe. So, we just need little sample tubs, not a big deal. I took care of the bites immediately. Ease the discomfort right away. So you want to have all those things. Sometimes I get different things from different first aid kits and put them in my bug out bag, because certain first aids don't have what other first aid kits do. So I want my own custom first aid kit in my bug out bag. So I get a little bit of here, a little bit of there. And that's why I love going to, like, whenever I go to Walmart, I make sure to grab like an extra box of bandages, first aid kit. Do not keep your preps in one place though. My personal opinion, have 2 bug out bags, one in your house, one in an undisclosed location, maybe a family member's home, a good trustworthy friend. You'd be surprised how many people don't have bug out bags. Like, I was asking people who were impacted by the storm, like texting them like, hey, do you have your bug out bag ready? Everyone said no. So yeah, that just shows how unprepared most people are, right? Even though they can afford it. Obviously, it's just more like, we don't think like this can happen. I was like, felt like the only one. I'm like, what the heck? Okay. But my brother even had the bug out bag ready, like my brother's like just a early prepper, right? Like I kind of got him into prepping, and then he like took it really seriously, and I'm really grateful for that, because yeah, I think if it wasn't for his preparation as well mixed with mine, we wouldn't have been as prepared. So it's very helpful to get that, again, that community, those people, family members, friends that can get on board with you with that and take it seriously, because yeah, people could have seriously lost their life in this one. They did, but not anyone I knew, at least, I think. I don't know. Again, it's always the after effects of the storm that causes the most devastation, illness, death, etc. So I think it's like 10 times more happens after the storm, not during the storm. So, like someone accidentally drinks that water when they didn't know I didn't even know there was a boil water advice. I had to look that up. I didn't know my internet was down. I had to call them. I didn't know my power was out. I had to check with my security system. That was the only way I could be alerted. And then that temporarily shut down. The radio signal got lost, and then it came back up, thankfully, because obviously I have to like protect my home, and I didn't know the damage, even if you have a security camera, it's like, that's going to get knocked out. Like the signal, the service, the power, once it goes out, like, yeah, the Wi-Fi, you can't see, obviously. So, yeah, make sure you have good, trustworthy neighbors that can keep an eye on your home, keep a guard, keep a watch. Even if they have to like, switch turns, like stay up in the middle of the night, keep a watch. I have my personal PROTECTION. Okay. Yeah. So I'm as like, I did the best I could, as prepared as I possibly could be for any scenario, and I just thank God that He did this when I was 28, not when I was 21, because I definitely wouldn't have been prepared, especially financially, and just like sound peace of mind or spiritual knowledge of peace. You know what I'm saying? I think that got me through the most, because it's very stressful to think about a lot of these things at once, and then knowing what's going to happen, and then if you don't have your peace, you have nothing, right? So that's why my connection with the Lord has helped me. I brought my Bible everywhere I went. Definitely, like, that helped me, okay? Yeah, having something even to just read, it's not even about faith, it's just having something to read to get your mind off stuff. I brought my Sudoku puzzle, my book I'm reading. I even started reading another book, out of boredom. Like, you have no idea, like, you get so bored and the time goes by so slowly when there's no power. And having come from someone who survived 4 days without decent running water, power, internet, air conditioning, obviously, because there's no power. So I can tell you, you need that entertainment. You need people to talk to. You need your puzzles, word search, whatever the heck, crosswords. books to read. It's hard because you can't do it at night when there's dim candles. But get you bug spray too, by the way. Yeah. Wish I got that one on hand. Or citronella candles. Alright, so I will be back. After a bug out bag, make sure you have a bug out location. So you take your bug out bag to your bug out location. Okay. Basically take your emergency preparations to a new, different location. Because especially if you have to emergency evacuate, I'm what you would consider Zone B. So a level up from Zone A, which is totally by the water. Zone B is right next to the people who are totally by the water, basically. My family was Zone C, so I moved to Zone C, right? Because it was the safest. Zone C didn't have to evacuate. There's actually a helicopter flying around at the moment. I just went to a quick walk with my dog to get some fresh air and to clear my thoughts, right? And I saw the helicopter go zooming by. I think they're still searching for, like, different things they need to do or repair, I guess, maybe. So it's crazy how long this takes. Like, I'm still looking at all these down trees and, like, no one's picking them up yet. No one's really collecting. And it's gonna take a long time to really clean up and recover totally. I mean, yeah, so it was almost like Katrina here. But regardless, guys, my bug out location was my family's home. You know, if you have a lot or a property elsewhere, like a second home you can go to, that's ideal. Whether it's a family member's home, a friend's home, somewhere safe that you know. And I went there because they have hurricane windows too, so it's like, you know, I felt safe. They had absolutely not even a dent, scratch, or damage at all to their home by some God's miracle. So I definitely felt safe there. And you know, even them being in not a emergency evacuation zone, they still got flooded. We still got trapped, not flooded like in their home, but like almost. So it just comes to show you how unpredictable these storms are. And even if you're, next time my lesson is, even if I'm Zone D or E, maybe not E, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm still gonna evacuate. If it's the next door neighbor to the zone that's evacuating, it's still risky. It came on us so quick, last minute, not even 12-hour notice, that we had to leave. And so I was already left before we got that notice, because I knew, like, as soon as Zone A was evacuating, I'm like, I'm out of here. But I didn't expect Zone B to have to evacuate too, so that was scary. You know, I think some people still chose to stay from what I observe, but at their own risk and discretion. Yeah, my family knows someone who's like got like 3 nice, like, expensive cars, like, totally flooded and destroyed, like, and flooding, I guess, in their home as well. So it awful. And then, like, someone who owns like a manufactured trailer home, nothing at all. So it's like, and they're in the same area. It's like, you just cannot predict. So yeah. I'm seeing people with a lot more roof damage than I had in my area, like literally next door. So I'm like, oh my God, you know, I feel so lucky, so fortunate. But like, yeah, by some dumb luck, by some dumb miracle, right? Sometimes you just think to yourself like, whoa, you know, but thank God I prepared, right? So you have to be prepared, because you don't know if that could have been your case, right? And, so overall, I mentioned all the things to calm mind. A bug out bag, a bug out location is important for your safety, because at the end of the day, your possessions don't matter in a situation like that. You do, okay? Because that's all you have. Sometimes you don't even have a bug out bag. You have to survive, though. You are the bug out bag, okay? Your organs are in this bag, this body, right? Like, you have to secure that bag first before you worry about getting your Louis Vuitton from your closet in your master bedroom, okay? You bougie princesses. None of that crap matters anyway. At the end of the day, family matters. Your heart matters. Your connections with others matter, okay? Because that can all be taken from you tomorrow in a flood, in a storm, okay? And so you have to have that survival mindset, that skill set, especially in the age and era we're coming, honey. This is just the beginning. This is a pre-trial run for what is to ensue. So yeah, a lot of people, even I was surprised actually how many people mentioned, I thought maybe a little bit rudely, that, oh, thank God I live in this state or this country, thinking that it could never happen to them. Think again, because just think again. These storms are changing. These storms are different, as I've mentioned. So you cannot predict where it's going to landfall next. You're not safe anywhere. You really aren't. And ironically enough, those same people that mentioned that, their same nation is prone to horrible earthquakes, while here we haven't had a single one. So, it's different everywhere. You're not safe anywhere under God's wrath, in my opinion. He decides at the end of the day, and you just have to stay prepared. Okay? So, you got to think from everything from a heat wave to an earthquake to a flood to a typhoon. Anything could happen at any time. Okay? So you have to stay prepared for that. And so I guess this could apply for people who are in a bad rainfall, like what happened in Kentucky earlier this year, and in many other places like Pakistan. A third of their population had to evacuate and lost their homes and stuff like that. So obviously, they never had that in like 1,000 years, right? So, you literally cannot say that I'm safe just because I live in the mountains of Montana. Have you prepared for a heavy snowstorm? Yeah. So, I digress. Make sure that you have those connections with people, and that's the fourth point I have to say. That family, those friends I texted helped out. Probably even family more than anything or anyone, or even my own preparation. I had a friend help out with getting a house last minute after the hotel because there was no availability and there were no other options and nothing like that cheap, so it was by again, just last minute dumb luck miracle. We found housing to get us through until the power and the internet came back on in my parents' house. Everything somehow by dumb luck miracle worked itself out in just the perfect timing, the perfect order. It just fell into place. And I think that was part of just choosing to stay calm, at peace. And I think you let the universe kind of work for you when you do that. So again, make sure you apply all these principles at the same time for your preparations. Even write these notes down, print them out, put them in your bug-out bag so you can look back and remind yourself, this is what Tony said. From ground zero, boots in the ground, having survived a 5-storm almost. I mean, it went right there. I went right over us. So I can tell you this is what you need from experience, and also having escaped multiple hurricanes. I've escaped Hurricane Charlie when I was, I think in 2004 or 6. I was very young. We were in Sanibel Island, of all places, and we had to escape. And I had to escape Irma in 2017, Ian in 2022. I believe I had to go through, not survive because it wasn't that bad, but I went through 1 and 2 more hurricanes that passed us, not the eye over us, but passed us. Pretty good. One was a 1, one was a 2. It passed over the Gulf, and then a tropical storm that actually just kind of went right over us, and then a couple of tropical depressions I also been through. And again, a tropical depression or storm is just as bad as the tail of a 1 or 2, depends how close you are to it. So, yeah, you need to be prepared for all. So I've been through all of that. I've seen all the damage it can do to the trees, knock things over to the outside of the home. You have to always think about moving all that stuff out. So that's another thing. Number 5, I'm going to say, you have to move all of that crap you have outside. I'm looking at my gazebo. I'm like, how the heck did that make it? But nothing else did. It's amazing. Anyway, things that will survive, I've noticed, is very thin stuff, like a gazebo, as long as you take the roof plastic covering off, because obviously that's going to get lifted like an umbrella. metal, like somehow, and you put like some sandbags or weight. I have like some heavy rocks around it and bricks that kind of, I guess, survived the Hurricane 5. It's amazing. It's a miracle. I thought that would have ripped my screen. I just got a brand new screen. My stepdad is, I would say, I mean, I wouldn't say like a mega big company, but I think he's getting pretty big now, and he's getting a lot of calls now for these hurricane. Like I would say he's probably like a, maybe by now, big, medium-sized company. He did my screening and my gutters. They survived. Like everyone that he's done the gutters with, he said their gutters made it, but other parts of the house didn't. So it's like, wow, he has really good quality stuff. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm surprised the gazebo didn't actually just rip through that, because I did miss a couple windows right here. I'm pointing in front of me in my seating area where I eat in my kitchen living environment, and those were the only two I could not shutter with my brother because those pieces were missing. I don't know, when I bought this house they were like, here's some hurricane shutters, but I guess they forgot those two windows. I think because the way they're positioned and because they're in the patio, screened in, it's so protected, the odds of something just breaking through, are very slim, I guess. So, but I still find it odd. But I digress. Make sure you shutter every window if you don't have hurricane shutters. Even if you have hurricane shutters, shutter anyway. That hurricane shutter is not going to help you if a big tree plows through it 100 miles an hour. Okay? It's going to crack, and all that air pressure is going to suck everything out of your house and just flood you pretty badly. Move stuff out of the way. Think of every potential scenario. Like, what if that tree comes ripping this way? Am I safe? Am I protected? Probably not, so I have to like cover this area, protect it. I didn't move 2 tables in the patio, but I moved everything else. Those made it. Those moved a little, but they're fine. Nothing happened. I've noticed what survived that you don't have to worry about is bricks and tiles and stones. Like, those stuff seem to have stayed because they're on the ground and they have some weight to them. The storm doesn't really move that stuff much, but plants totally gone. Leaves out, sometimes uprooted. If it can uproot a tree, even some palm trees, it can bend. You probably don't want to think that you're going to come back to a home with plants. Yeah, so I feel bad for people who have I have a lot of plants. Like, they put so much thousands of dollars into that. I've seen, and I'm like looking at my neighborhood. Like, I was talking to one of my neighbors who had like a beautiful yard, and I was like talking to them, oh my God, you have beautiful plants, and they're all gone now. I'm like, oh my God. So, it sucks, but yeah. I don't think they insure that, so, make sure you don't overdo it. I'm glad I didn't. I just had like a few cute little flowers or stuff. I'm sad about my rose bush. It looks bent. I'm not sure if it's still survivable, but I'll have to repost them. I have a lot of work to do, but again, consider what's valuable, what counts, what matters to you. Obviously, you can't move plants last minute like that. Sometimes you don't have space. What worked for me is hauling everything in the garage. So I have a 3-door car garage, plenty of space to haul all my crap from outside inside. And just make sure that you don't think it's going to get flooded, because that could also damage it. So maybe some things you want to move in your home at elevation, make sure you elevate everything up. So I had to move all important stuff, electronics, unplugged everything from the house. And before you leave the house, make sure you switch that electric target thing off, whatever it's called. Not generator, the electric panel. Because the circuit breaker, because if you have it on and too many neighbors have it on, allegedly, that will cause a explosion because of the overwhelming power trying to come back. And I feel like maybe that's why my lights flicker now when I do like the washing machine or whatever, turn up appliance on and use too much power, is because maybe I didn't forget to turn, oops, I didn't know, but I learned that recently. But anyway, so make sure you have that taken care of, because you don't want that to impact and influence you, and that could be costly. I do have everything insured, even my electric, but now because FPL is so busy, I don't think they help you, so you have to call an extra electrician. So I'm like, oh my God, now that's gonna probably charge me. So yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Make sure your insurance policy is good too, because I was shocked to find out that things only cover 1 or 2% max, and of the value of the home, and the value of the home. Obviously, my home value is like doubled, even like at one point probably tripled, right? So everything got way more expensive. So this is why I'm weighing my options now, and so just checking into everything, and now policies are going to skyrocket. They're already saying like the policies are already been skyrocketing. People's insurance companies have been going bust, bankrupt, closing, business, and it's getting to be like California here, literally. I mean, it's like its own country here, and everyone wants to. Like, it's the new it thing. Like everyone wants to be here, everyone wants to move here, hurricane or not. There's still always going to be someone that wants to move here with plenty of money to just be able to afford these 7% interest rates, which I'm still shocked that people are even bothering to buy at this point. It's like totally unaffordable or not worth it. Even if you can afford it, it's not worth it. It's like, why would you spend like a third, even like half of your paycheck on a mortgage? That's just beyond me anyway. But I digress. Unless you need space and you have a family, that's a different story. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying? But I've learned my lesson, even with like growing up and seeing like the mistakes people have made. No, thank you. I'll bury myself in my own grave before I make that mistake, right? So, but I digress. You do want to prepare. That's another thing, I guess. Another point financially is because, I'm glad I had like a little, I guess, cushion. I'm not rich at all in any way, shape, or form. Like, I wish I was. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making this video. You know what I'm saying? Or even making YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like everyone else. But a little support, a little cushion, a little emergency thing here and there to help you, like, get that Airbnb and stuff. Or a hotel, or food even. Emergency preps help a lot. Make sure you have food buckets. Make sure you have stuff that can survive canned goods. The cruddy thing about it is though, like, I don't know how much of that really did well here, because the power was out probably for like almost a whole week, at least 4 or 5 days. So sitting in a home that's like 80 plus degrees, I hope it didn't get to 90, could maybe not do so well, those emergency preps. So I'll have to check on them, do a smell test afterwards, and just test it in the spirit, because there's some stuff. I don't keep everything here, thankfully, but there's some stuff that I'm like, maybe should be kept in 78 degrees rather than 85, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm a little skeptical, but overall, that's why you want to keep them in a cool environment, on tile, on metal, not on wood, like in a good, cool covering, like a plastic tub or something that can stay cool, closed, sealed, especially during a flood, because you don't realize, like, once you get a flood, you got to throw all that furniture out. Like, it's going to mold, like, especially if it's wood. Like, you think, oh, my table only got like an inch. No, you got to throw it out. Like, yeah, you got to throw all that out. Take pictures of everything. I took pictures of my whole house, perimeter, furniture, everything, for proof that if something were to get damaged, I could get reimbursed for all of that. Because I spent quite a coin, if I must say so myself, in this house. Okay. So, you want to make sure, it took a long time to pay off. I was in debt until I paid it all off. I was like, I obviously worked so hard, you want to protect your assets and stuff. But don't keep all your assets in one place, like I said. So yeah, obviously, you shouldn't keep your eggs in one basket. And so, in this day and age, it's better to live small, humbly. That's why I'm reconsidering my options. I'm like, sometimes you have to give up certain things to live a better, more peaceful lifestyle, especially if you can't be at peace with keeping up with the Joneses, or maintaining something, an image or something like that. I used to be like that all the time, but nowadays I've just become so much more to myself, like keeping quiet about my business. And you want to do that. I think that's, at least, I don't know, like, I'm still young, but in my opinion, I think that's the better route, rather than being like splurgy and showy. And that's why I've noticed, like, all these people were like splurgy and showy, and they're like, oh my god, I lost my car. And it's like, oh well, like, that was no fault of your own. We can't control the weather, but See, now you can't afford basic essential needs because you bought that nice car that got destroyed, and it's like, you know, and then oops, you didn't have the insurance, you know. So, you know, it's very, very tough. Or like your insurance now going to skyrocket because of that, you know, and then you can't afford it. So it's like, you know, you really want to do what you can afford, and you know, live with people that can help you. Don't live alone. In this era, even if you own a small apartment, like a 2-bedroom, I mean, 2-bedroom or more, don't live alone. Have a roommate. You're going to need to survive. You need to talk to someone, okay? Like, I found that you need someone to talk to. Like, I would have went crazy in this big old house if I just continued to live alone, right? Like, every time I chose to live alone in my life, I always started to go crazy because I was like, you're just alone in these own 4 walls, you know, with your own thoughts. And it kind of, like, you don't notice, but after a while, like, you start to lose it. Like, you literally start to, like, lose it. So, at least for me, it's always better to have someone to interact with, socialize with, in person, okay? It's not enough to watch YouTube videos or to talk to your friend on the phone. You need someone in energy, physical contact. Sometimes even physical touch. Like, if you are the type of person that wants that, sometimes, like, wants like a fling or a friend with benefit or dating. Like, at this point, I don't judge anyone. Like, you know, I still have those thoughts sometimes. I'm like, you know, I live quite a reclusive life, secluded from society. I mean, I live in, like, trees all around me. Like, I don't really talk to anyone much. Just like one best friend that I, like, you know, call from time to time. Yeah, so my brother works half the time. Like, obviously, like, I'm alone a lot of the time, you know, so I don't really have that, and it doesn't bother me most days, but I'm human, and obviously it's bothered me some days. And then, you know, everything that's happening, I've been telling people that this is hands down the worst year I've ever went through. I got sick after Puerto Rico in February, like, bad. I got sick in Mexico, bad. I had to go to the doctors. Something with the water I drank or whatever, or the food. I think it was the pulque and Xochimilco, but that's beside the point. And then I got sick again in August. Horrible. Last year I was, like, dizzy for 6 weeks. Horrible breakup, got cheated on. Now this Category 5 hurricane that did quite some damage. Even, like, it does damage mentally too. Like, you don't realize, but, like, the stress, the blood pressure, I lost count of times my blood pressure went up, you know. Make sure you have health insurance. That's another thing. But anyway, hands down, this was the worst year I ever went through, but it only made me stronger. I know that for a certain fact. We're dealing with so much right now. Inflation, hyperinflation. That's stressful. Food shortages, right? Like, I can't even find stuff I used to be able to find in the stores. Like, that in itself is stress. That's spoiled stress. I'm over that by now. People are still getting over that, but I'm over that by now. That's, like, the least of my worries. I'm like, whatever, I'll buy the off-brand, generic brand. If I have to, I'll get by. But, you know, having to, like, squeeze more in a way or pinch more pennies, I've definitely had to do this year to just be playing it smart, you know, to still, like, save for taxes, have some savings, some cushion, you know, you have to, like, pay your bills, your mortgage, you know. So there's a lot to consider here. And I'm going to be honest, like, yeah, if I can't afford this anymore, I'm going to be realistic. Like, I'm still, like, I'm in the cusp of millennial and Gen Z. Like, I'm just on the border. So, like, it's an amazing miracle that I can even have this lifestyle. But if I can't afford it, and if Florida's only meant for rich old people, I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to say, you know what, let me sell, cash out, maybe get a little early retirement if hyperinflation doesn't kill us. And I'm just going to say, you know what, I did my best, right? I'm just going to, honestly, I've been weighing my options. I'm like, you know what, if I live in an RV, I don't even care anymore. Like, if I live, I want to live a small, like, you think that witch in the woods doing tarot readings? Yeah, like an old lady. That's how I want to live. But I want my hot boo-boo from time to time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be with you. I don't want to marry you. I just come over from time to time and entertain me a bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh my God. Some people say I even laugh like a witch. It's crazy. I know I have witchy abilities. A good witch, obviously. I cannot pronounce myself a witch because I'm a man. You have to be a woman to be a witch. So I'm not. I have Jesus in my life. And even if you're a witch, you can still have Jesus in your life. I do believe that God is through everything and everyone, right? Like, there's no judgment there. But, like, people think, like, oh, tarot cards, you're, not of God, whatever, bye, okay. But, I channel my message through God always. Of course, I thank him and I ask him to come through before anyone else. And he protects me. But, yeah, I do have abilities. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's so weird. I'm not saying, like, stuff out there, but I know my strength and my ability. I've noticed even I have some influence on, like, weather ever since even a little kid. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. Like, I won't even go into it. If I even talk about it on here, people are gonna think I'm like a whack job, but there's something to it, okay? There's something powerful to it, and I'll end it there. But yeah, pre-Jesus, I used to do like stuff like good spells and stuff like that, and I've noticed how they've worked, and I'm like, it's scary. Like, it's scary how much it works. But yeah, anyway, I digress. Maybe there's something in a past life where I used to do that stuff and I still have that like bloodline connection. I don't know, but yeah, we all change in different lifestyles, and I know I'm not perfect. I haven't done the best things in my past lives, but I was not necessarily the nicest person or treated people, maybe fairly, or I did quite a lot of damage, and I actually was like a storm, like a weather storm in my past life, and then I was like a being in outer space that actually did a lot of damage, like destroyed planets even, so I've had to maybe pay my dues for that. But it's crazy, like maybe I'm all of those things right now at the same time, and so it's like you realize, oh wow, your connection to the weather. Like, even as a child, I've always kind of been like connected to those Indian rain sticks, and then like whenever I shake them, it rained. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it rained like an hour later. I'm not kidding you. So I think this hurricane had something to do. I have no idea. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just saying, like, the power we hold as a collective, okay? Like, I think when we manifest it, I think in a sense we manifested this collectively, and I think because we're so connected with the earth, again, I'm not claiming anything's true. I'm just saying this is like entertainment purposes only. I'm just saying a spiritual opinion. Obviously, this is not true. This is not fact. This is just for fun and relaxation and sleep. But I'm saying that, like, it's amazing, our power, our magical ability that we have and host within ourselves, right? That's what I'm saying. Obviously, we cannot control the weather. We cannot control anything that happens. I'm just saying we are connected to it, though, right? As nature. We're natural beings, right? If we come from the apes, then, we're connected to the earth, right? The animals, the creatures, the weather, the atmosphere, the earth. The earth is our home, right? So Mother Gaia. So I like that connection. And obviously I wouldn't like wish damage and stuff like that. So I'm saying, I'm not the cause of it, obviously. So, but I'm just saying, like, I think we somehow unconsciously, is what I'm trying to say, manifest a collective energy to allow something to happen for our growth, for our lesson, for our experience, right? So we wouldn't wish it to happen to anyone, but we collectively sort of have a mentality or like an energy that allows certain things to happen for certain reasons. And I do believe my soul chose to come here at this time to experience certain pains, certain heartbreaks, certain issues. And that's why I'm saying, like, I did not expect 2022 to be the worst year for me personally, but I prepared the best way I knew how, and thank goodness I did. And I want you to stay prepared to make sure that you have the mindset that, okay, if this were to happen to me tomorrow, you're not manifesting it, you're not worrying about it, fearing it, attracting it, but you're thinking in the back of your head, this could be a future possible outcome that I need to worry about. I'm sorry, but I can't stand people who are like in denial that things could happen. They're the most unprepared people I know. They're the ones who end up with the most devastation, not because they're actually being devastated, but it's like the shock factor of it actually happening. They're like, they're so frozen in time. It's like, I told you, I've been trying to tell you that this was going to happen and no one believed in you, And it's like, what the heck, man? Like, I've been trying to tell you and you don't believe me, right? So it's like, you have to be prepared, because if you're not, you're going to be that, when the time comes, you're going to be turned to stone like Medusa. Like, okay, so I don't want you to be you know what I'm saying? Like, there's probably so many people, but, don't let it spook you. I know it's a spooky season, but Don't let it spook you. Okay, honey? Be prepared, okay? And you hold power when you prepare. And especially if you have children, prepare for them and their future. Okay? I mean, who am I to talk? I don't even have kids, but that's what I would do if I had children's, okay? It's not enough nowadays to just have a college fund sitting in an account. You need to prepare in other ways, okay? Yeah. And I tried taking even cash out, like, I was like, let me test it, $500, like, taking it out of the ATM. Nope. Laugh out loud, like, no ATM would give me money, because, like, everyone's taken out, so it's like they have no money left, right? So in a hurricane, obviously, everyone's trying to prepare. So thankfully I had, like, obviously a cushion, and I took that with me. I didn't leave anything behind. Oh my God, no. You don't want to leave valuables behind. You want to keep them in different locations. If you have gold, silver, take all that stuff with you. That is worthy, because you're safe. Yeah, your safe is not safe from a flood, okay? A fire, yes. A flood, no, okay? More than 8 inches, yeah, good luck with that. So, sometimes maybe, but if you don't have, like, yeah, no, okay, it's not gonna be safe. I'm just telling you right now, based on what people have said. So if you do have to leave things behind because you have a lot, make sure you have a safe that no one can lift, that's extremely heavy, okay? And I would even bolt it to a wall, okay? Like, yeah, I would hide, protect, cover, keep it in an undisclosed location. Do what you can, have security measures protected behind it, and an alarm trigger, everything that you can possibly think of, possibly, even if you can afford, like, a bodyguard, do that. Like, I mean, it's not that expensive to have, like, a bodyguard for, like, a few hours. It really isn't. I think last time I checked, most people could afford a bodyguard for, like, an hour at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you can to protect your stuff, okay? But I know it can be hard in certain areas, especially if you're not in the city. It's, like, not that easy to just find a bodyguard to come out here and, like, watch your stuff, like, for pretty cheap, so, but yeah, make sure, even a family, a friend, that's what I say, make a good connection with your neighbors, so they got your back, you got their back, they got your back, you know what I'm saying? Do them a favor, and you'll go far, okay? Pets, make sure you get your animals with you, all right? And get plenty of food, supple, abundant supply. They say 3 days, food, water, gas, money. Good luck with that. 3 days will turn into 30 if you're not careful. Make sure you have as much as you can. In this case, in this storm, you need 2 weeks. Okay, I'm exaggerating maybe. 1 week minimum. 2 weeks for peace of mind. A month plus, preferably. I say 3 months, 6 months. People say 2 years, 5 years. Oh my God, most people can't do that. So, okay, 3 months. All right, if you can do 3 months, you're good. Okay, that's like having 3 months of cash reserves on the side to pay your bills, right? Like, that's actually more valuable in my opinion, especially in this day and age with food and stuff and that. And water is going to be hard to come by. Gas, make sure you have those gas canisters. That helped and saved us as well. All right. Gas reserves, don't keep it in your car. It can explode, it can leak, it can smell really bad. So just make sure you have a good setup system, that it's sealed tightly, that it cannot leave the canister, and you have a safe way of storing those things. Make sure you have charcoal and propane, a grill. Don't keep it outside just because it's heavy. It's going to knock over. Our grill one time knocked over from the category 1 tail. Yeah, so don't do that. And make sure you have even a collapsible oven that is like aluminum, like that you can actually use like natural, like put the charcoal under it, and you have everything, matches, lighters, important documentation. Bring your passport with you, your driver's license, ID, your state ID, insurance documents. You're going to have to call the insurance company. Make sure you have a decent phone, battery charged, solar power battery charger. Make sure you have extra things you're going to need for comfort and peace, like chocolate, coffee, basics like salt and sugar are like liquid or crystal gold during times like these, where the grocery shelves are wiped. Okay, water, bottles in abundance. You can only go 3 days without food. You can go without water. You cannot survive. So, and get plenty of sleep. Sleep is healing. Sleep will help you during this time. Also, I'm thinking of everyone going through everything right now in the after effects of the storm. Please let me know if you're okay. Poopsies have messaged me and said their house was destroyed, their family's house destroyed, their friend's house destroyed. I'm thinking of all of you. I know I have a lot of watchers in this area. I've had people recognize me in this area. I'm thinking of all of you right now, okay? The entire Florida in general, other states that may have felt devastating side effects of this. And I believe I've covered all grounds here that I could possibly think of. Make sure you have multiple bags ready. Clothes, plenty, because you won't be able to do laundry either. So if you think 3 days, get 6 pieces of articles of clothing, socks, underwear, undergarments, boxers, shirts, pants, and sweaters, long sleeves, because you need something to cover your arms and legs to protect you from potential damage and harm. And also because it gets very cold after a hurricane. The temperature drops dramatically. And so overnight especially, it can get a little bit frigid. And so you need to prepare for such temperatures. And I gotta say, even a hat, right? Maybe even a mask, because there could be some particles flowing from a building near you that are not safe to breathe. Like asbestos, okay, because the house got damaged and now the wind blowing your way. So goggles, okay, there could be a splinter in your eye, okay, from like a tree or something blowing, especially if your house get damaged and you're left stranded outside during this winds or rainfall. Even helmet, you got to think about every possible scenario. And not everyone is able to just, bug out in like a big home that's wide and sturdy and can have a good set foundation to survive this. If you're higher in elevation, you're very fortunate, and most people made it through because of that. But especially if you live near the water or on the water, even if you are in a huge home, you're not safe, okay? So have adequate mindset and preparation, and tell your family and friends, because you want them around, because you're gonna need them around, even if you don't like them that much. Okay, everyone's scenario is different and unique. You're gonna want them around because you're gonna need to survive these coming days and times that we are in. So have your faith, your belief system in yourself, and your comfort is so important, okay? This little guy helped me more, I think, than anything, right? And he was so calm during it. I'm like, dude, how are you this calm? He just kept watching the storm like nothing. Like it was nothing. You're my best friend. You're my good luck charm, You have such good energy. He does. Alright, boopsies. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. I hope I gave you as much guidance and information from personal pain and experience as possible. If you have damage, make sure you call those people as fast as possible, because you're going to be on a wait list. I had to be on a phone call for 3 hours, and guess what? I went from 260 in line to 16th in line after 3 hours. Guess what happened? My phone hung up. Stay prepared, guys. I love you all. If you like this information and you want more videos like this, subscribe, tap the bell, hit all notifications, and check my website to help support this journey. I do this for free, so I need support. I need your support now more than ever, especially TonyBomboni.com. Okay, God bless you. Bye-bye.